All right, what's up?
Good. Oh man, every little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a whole lot of nothing. Man, yeah. So welcome to my show, Black Marriage Chronicles. Here, it is our goal to revive, reunite, and ignite existing marriages. Also, in the hopes of giving people who are looking to get married some examples from people like yourself who are willing to share their experience in marriage, and hopefully they'll have something to go off of. Because I think we all know if you've been married as long as you guys have, which is about 25 years, you know marriage ain't easy and it takes some work. Would you agree?
I agree.
Oh yeah, wholeheartedly.
So, welcome to my show, Black Marriage Chronicles. I'm Al. If you are new to the show, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. If you're returning, welcome back. We appreciate you. We have Derek and Terry Fields. Just as a little side note, Terry is an alumni of mine. We went to high school together.
Yes.
Yep. And her and my wife are really good friends. Well, at least they were in school. I'm assuming they're still friends. But it's been a while.
Right.
Yeah. So, before we get into anything, do you guys have any questions for me about how this goes?
You probably fill us in, I guess.
Okay.
You probably got all the questions and we got the answers.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I got the questions. Y'all got the answers.
That's the questions. We hopefully have the answers.
Yeah, y'all do. We just want you guys to be as authentic and transparent as possible. Terry, again, I appreciate when I reached out to your wife about this idea. She didn't hesitate. She was like, "Yeah, sure." She just had to get your schedule together, and we were just trying to coordinate. But I really appreciate you. I also want you to know that we don't take your participation in this lightly. We understand that marriage is a sacred institution, and sometimes what happens in your relationship, for the sanctity of the relationship, you have to keep it there. But the fact that you're willing to share some of the things that you have gone through with other couples who are currently married and maybe going through similar situations, or for those who may be thinking about getting married, to help them show them that, hey, especially Black marriage, because there's so many negative stereotypes that are around what our marriage is or what Black people do, that we want to dispel some of those myths, that we win too. Black love exists and it wins as well. So we do have a couple games that we play throughout our conversation. The show lasts maybe about an hour. Sometimes we run over a little bit, especially when it's people that I know, we run over a little bit. But I'll try to definitely keep it at an hour. But we have games that we play, and they're inspired by Black game artists. So what I want you to do is, before we get started and start digging in, I'm going to show you a couple games, and you let me know which one of the ones you want to play, and then we'll get into it, okay?
Okay.
So your wife is familiar with this one because I think she was online when we played this one. So I don't know if we might disqualify y'all from using this one. It's culture tags. All right. And the categories inside culture tags are TV and film, words to live by, Black Twitter, songs and lyrics, family and friends, or church. And then the other game we have is called, and this is more couples based, which means like this is a game that you will probably play at home and say if you guys ain't had nothing to do and you want to kind of, spark some conversation. Can you see it?
What's the name of it?
It's called Tonight Let's Talk.
Okay.
And then we have another one called Naughty Nice.
Okay.
And then we have another one called Urban Trivia.
Okay.
So I just need you to let me know which one of the games you want to play, and then we'll get into some stuff. If you need me to go through them again, let me know. I will.
I like to do the first one or the last one.
The first one or the last
first
one.
One. And do the first one?
Yeah.
The first one? Okay, which category?
Oh, shit.
TV and film, words to live by, Black Twitter, songs and lyrics, family and friends, or church?
Black Twitter. What you want to do?
Terry looking at how she can maximize her win.
And these faces, ridiculous.
She's like, I'm trying to win at this thing.
How can you pick?
TV.
TV and film? All right, TV and film it is. All right, so I understand you have been married 25 years. Well, it'll be 25 years in December, right?
Yes.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about your marriage. Well, we know how long you've been married. Do you have children? Any grandchildren? How did you meet?
We met at Northland Mall, believe it or not.
Oh, not old Northland Mall.
And we have 2 adult children.
Okay.
So their ages 22 and the oldest will be 28.
Okay. All right.
Then we got
no grandbabies yet, huh?
Oh, we got a fur baby.
Okay.
So he's 1.
Okay.
So yeah, we met almost 30 years ago, over 30 years ago.
Oh wow. Okay. All right.
So, and I approached him. I'm not gonna even tell no lie.
Oh, okay. You pushed up upon her like an aggressive woman. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did that go? Well, I know y'all been married 25 years, so of course it went well. But then, how did you? What made you approach him?
We was in. Well, my brother and I, we had just moved back from Illinois.
And
I went to Northland because I used to work in Northland from the age of 14 on.
Okay.
Wow, that's bad.
No, your light was fine. Initially, was nothing wrong with it. Yeah, no, you're fine.
Playing with the lights.
Yeah,
so,
you're good.
Yeah, so my brother and I went out to Northland Mall. I went to visit one of the stores that I frequent. It was Regal Shoes, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
I knew the manager.
You get me all nostalgic, y'all. You're not from Detroit. You wouldn't know nothing about Northland Mall. Like that's we used to hang out there tough back in the day. And they didn't close it down. They turned it into a parking lot.
Right.
Yeah, they making it some apartments and some retail stores. Yeah. Oh, Northland Mall. I'm sorry, Terry. Go ahead. You get me all nostalgic over here.
So I knew the manager from when I used to work at the ice cream store. So
okay,
I walked in and I see this guy and I was like, "Oh, Bobby, that's the manager's name." I said, "You ain't ever have anybody that look this good to work here."
Oh,
I'm dropping hints because like
now, mind you, I'm in earshot. I can hear all.
You can hear all this, dear.
My brother was like yay tall, but he was 4 years younger. He's 4 years younger than me. So you remember my brother Bobby? My brother here. So I kept throwing hints that this is just my brother.
Right.
But by the time I left the store, he stopped me and gave me his number. So
okay.
So it's been
Yeah. So all right. I'm hearing all this, and she's like, "Yes, this is Bobby. This is my brother. You remember my brother?" Bobby, this is
how many times you gonna mention Bobby is my brother?
I was like, "Oh, okay." She checking the brother out. All right. Go ahead and get ready for this.
Okay.
I wrote my number on one of my business cards.
Okay. What was your business at the time? Oh, you were working at the store.
Yeah, working at the store.
Okay.
So as she was walking by, I said, "Hey." I said, "How you doing?" And I said, just gave her my number. I was like, "Here you go. Here's your card. Here's my card. Give me a call." And then that was it.
That was it. Okay. All right. And y'all been inseparable ever since?
Pretty much.
Yeah, because we worked together out in Northland. We ended up working together down the hall first from each other. Then we ended up working at Regal Shoes together.
Okay.
And now we've been in our current job together. Just like this. That said.
Wait a minute. Y'all work together now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, we got to dig into that. How does that work? You see each other every day. You wake up every day. Yeah, let's talk about that because
we're actual partners at work.
Okay.
So then, we drive home. Because people all the time, they're like, "Man, how do y'all do it? Y'all wake up together, y'all drive in together, y'all work together, y'all drive on, it's like, how do y'all do it?" It's just,
I want to know, how do y'all do it?
But I tell people all the time, we had practice already from the mall because she ended up, she had worked out there before I started working there. I started working with her. She wasn't. But then she started working out there again. Eventually, she started working at the shoe store where I worked at. That was really our first experience, like working together. And we were working at the mall for and it was ended up turning to Famous Footwear.
Okay.
So working.
And they sent us to 2 separate locations.
Yeah, once they found out we were a couple, they sent us to different stores.
Oh.
So, and we were there like less than a year, and then there was a time we weren't working together.
Okay.
But my manager let me go over there to work with him when I need to. When he needs somebody over there with him.
Right. So, yeah. So in 97, I got hired by the sheriff's department. Mm-hmm. And after about 2 years, I was telling, it was like about a year and a half, I called her because she was having issues at the job she was working.
Okay.
She was saying, I can't take it no more. This is some bull crap. So I said, well, apply where I'm at. So she ended up applying and she got in, and eventually we got into the same department. And
so y'all both work in law enforcement?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so I do want to know, like, okay, y'all said y'all have years of practice, but do it ever get to a point where, because you know how you can come home and tell your spouse about your day? Y'all don't have that because you was right there at the water cooler.
No, okay. Believe it or not, because where we work at, we can have stories to tell. Trust me. Even when we're in the same one, when we working together on day shift, we like he might have seen something when I went to the bathroom or something like that.
Okay.
So we have some stories that we'll talk about coming home, or we work a separate shift or a double shift. You might be in a separate area than I am, and we'll have stories to tell. So
yeah, we can actually work the same shift, but actually be in different areas sometimes, depending.
Okay, got you. So, with that being said, like, do you guys value your me time? And if you do have me time, because you work so closely together in your home, you come home, you drive into work, you wake up, y'all sleeping together. What does me time look like for you two individually?
Happy hour Fridays.
Say that again.
Happy hour Fridays. We do no doubles. We go to find a happy hour somewhere.
Okay.
And get our drinking social ass on.
Okay. And y'all do that together too?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
But it's weird because like I said, a lot of other couples they'll ask us the same question that you ask us, and it's like we've just been so used to being together for so long. We just for us, we don't really have to have it's not a necessity for us. Like I got to get away from her. Or she'll be like, oh, I can't stand him. I got to do, we've never been like that.
Okay.
We just, most of the fun that we have together. Us and other friends that we have. It just works like that for us.
Okay, I'm looking at your wife and she looking side eye like, I don't know now. So I want to know, like, Terry, give me your take on this.
No, we have our moments, and I'll be like, sometimes, like you said, we'll ride into work, and I say, and he'll be trying to leave me. I said, no, we're not leaving. That's it, because we're not gonna pay for 2 parking spots. I know how to sit in the car just like them.
Oh, what?
I can sit there at work like this, and sometimes he'll break before me. So yeah.
Okay. So then when y'all have those moments in your marriage, in your relationship where you're, because you at the end of the day, let's be honest, 25 years, you're not gonna always like one another. So when that happens, how do y'all navigate that, especially having to ride into work and ride home?
I told you.
Let me ask you this: have there been a lot of rides home where it's been complete silence?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, there's been days where I said I'm gonna ride separately. She's like, hell no, you riding together. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, really? So, but there have been times that we beefed out.
Okay.
Beefed out, and but it's like professionally we can still do the job.
Okay.
So we don't really have blow-ups at work. If we have issues, then we really kind of, for the most part, we rein them in until after work.
Okay. Terry, you looking side eye again. Tell me you got a different perspective on this.
They're very few and far between.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's been some occasionally, but yeah, they're very few and far between. Like I said, he's been there 26 years. I've been there 24.
Okay.
So out of those, we don't have many.
Okay. All right. But when they do happen, how do you who holds the grudges when y'all mad? So how do you navigate that, Derek? And Terry, what's your response to that when your husband is mad and he holding the grudge? Like, how do y'all navigate that? What's the result?
I'm like this right now. If I ask you if you're okay, and I usually could tell he got an attitude with me. I ask him a second time, and he still say I'm good. Hell with it then. If he gonna tell me, he gonna tell me. If he not, I'm over it. He'll get over it eventually, whatever.
Yeah, she'll be like, I just wait till you stop being mad.
What's the longest y'all have gone with being mad with one another?
I don't know.
Me, I'll still be like, I don't care, I'm over it.
Okay.
He'll probably, I think the longest,
a week maybe.
Probably
about a week. A week, and not actually talking or just caring, just being mad, Derek.
Well, the process is usually no talking at all.
Okay.
And then it goes from no talking to kind of, sometimes
he breaks.
I don't like myself. So a lot of times I don't even want to open the door for her, bro.
Lord.
Open the door for her, open the door, we get this work, I open all the doors and stuff, and I still be mad as heck, but I'm like, I can't stop being who I am,
right.
And then that kind of blends into short conversations or whatever.
Okay.
I said it before. She was like, you be trying to sneak, I know you mad at me. And then that be making me mad and da-da-da-da.
Okay.
It kind of blends in. Sometimes we talk and apologize. Sometimes there's no apology.
Okay.
Which really isn't good.
He really hates this part.
Which really is good. I mean, there should always be conversation.
Okay.
And understanding about the situation. And whoever is at fault,
Got you. So let me ask you this. There was a show. I also do this show on live every Thursday at 9:15. And one of the subjects was sex versus an apology. So let me ask you, Derek, because you wasn't on it. I don't remember if Terry was on there or not, but would you rather have sex or would you rather have an apology?
Good question. Good question.
I mean, you talking about
I started to chime in on that one, though.
I mean, you always want sex.
No, but if you
want an apology.
I was gonna say, but I'd probably
Terry, your faces are priceless.
I know. A million of them, and they all mean something different. Trust me.
Okay.
But I'd probably say 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, sex would have probably been what I would have wanted before.
Okay.
I think the talking and apology means a little more now.
Okay. I think after you've been in it for so long, you've been in a relationship for so long, and especially y'all been married almost 25 years. It'll be 25 years in December, right?
Yes.
Okay. Y'all know ain't nobody going nowhere. You're gonna get the booty is there. So listen, right. I need you to apologize to me.
Right.
If apology is due, then I think apology is due. Like, no way around it. Okay, cool. I like to hear that.
And I guess that, and I know when I was younger and we were married, and you would hear older, couples that have been together for years, and they're like, it changes and blah blah blah. But when you like 5 years in, you're like, oh, this ain't gonna never change. It's gonna be sex every day, and it's gonna be blah blah. But I'm here to tell you, it does change.
Oh, absolutely, because life happens.
Yes,
life happens. Life happens.
Not necessarily in a negative way, but it does. It just like I said, it transmogrifies into
different. Okay. We're talking, and we're all grown. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna ask this, but y'all do have a healthy sex life.
We do.
Okay. All right. Who's the initiator?
I gotta put my hand up.
Well, I would think Terry would be, since she was the one that pushed up on you 25 some years ago.
How long did you say that was ago?
30 years ago. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, how long ago?
Right. That part, Derek. I would think Terry would be the initiator. Okay, the more aggressive. Okay.
Nope. I have my time. So.
She does. She has her moment. She does.
Okay. All right. That's good. Say that again, Derek. with the cough?
I didn't say anything. Give me more.
With that being said, so to the people who are thinking about getting married, or those of you who are watching this and are in existing marriages, and you heard it from 25-year veterans that going to bed mad is just, have you ever heard that? Oh, you don't go to bed mad. It happens.
Oh yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's how you handling your attitude moving forward. Because even in my own marriage, there have been times that me and my wife, like, we done got into it, and you go to your corner, I go to my corner. Don't put your feet on my side. I'm not gonna put my feet on your side. Don't touch me.
Oh yeah.
But I can say over the years that has gotten a lot better. Like, it used to be knock down, drag out, and but it has gotten so much better. A testament to both of us and our attitudes and commitment towards our marriage, that has gotten a lot better, because it used to be bad, like really bad.
Yeah.
But again, well, like I was saying earlier when we first started, it's about the commitment into the relationship and the marriage, and then just knowing that you're gonna have those ebbs and flows in your marriage, and that whole thing about and I know y'all probably heard it too, don't go to bed mad. Like, no, it's gonna happen. Like, it's going to happen. Like, you've been married long enough. We've been in it 5 years, but we've been together a lot longer than that. But it's gonna happen. You're gonna be mad, and at the end of the day, you're not gonna always like the person that you love.
Exactly. It's the men. It's the men are from men. Men are from Mars. Women are from Venus. You're different.
Yeah. It was another couple that I interviewed yesterday, and the wife put it like this. She was like, "Love is an action. You choose to love the person that you're with, despite what's going on. It's you choose to love them." Because she was saying that they used to talk about that divorce wasn't an option, but they hit a rough patch in their marriage where that was on the table at one point. They thought it would never be, but it was on the table. But she was saying they end up working through it, but she was just saying it is an option, because we said the same thing. It's an option, but you choose not to exercise that option.
Exactly.
Right. And you choose to love this person despite their flaws. And at the end of the day, we all have luggage, we all have baggage. You just want to love the person enough to help them unpack their luggage, be there for them. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Speaking of which, I do want to ask you, almost 25 years in, coming in December, was there ever a time in your marriage where the divorce was on the table?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. When was that? And if you wouldn't mind, just kind of tell us a little bit about that.
It was about 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Probably, somewhere around
6-7 years ago.
Okay.
It was difficult. It was deep, but I don't feel like divorce is always the answer to stuff.
Okay.
I always feel like marriage is two. If you got the two people that want to work through it, then it's worth working through.
Mm-hmm.
Work through it. Also, whether it's fidelity or just not communicate or whatever. If the people are in it, they're in it, and they want to work through it, they'll work through it.
Yeah.
It can be, difficult, and it might take a long time, but
did y'all seek counseling to kind of resolve whatever it was y'all was going on?
Yeah, we had a couple of counseling sessions. We did that a few times.
Well, a couple of
separate.
Yeah. Okay. We went for a while. Actually, 2 different times.
Okay. All right. And if it's wounds that you guys have healed, because what I don't like to do on this show, definitely want to be everybody keep it 100, because we're here to help other couples through shared experiences. But if you are okay, if it's not too personal, or not, if it's something that y'all still working through, can you give us a little background as to what was the cause of it? Like, and was it just the fact y'all been together too long? Like, what was it where divorce was on the table?
Trust.
Okay.
Trust issues on both.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
Was there some infidelity?
Yeah, we'll say yay and nay and yay and yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, listen, I've had couples on here and they went through that, so I understand. I mean, it's just, again, just we're just talking, just to kind of, like I said, I want y'all to be honest and transparent, because people, so I get it. We don't have to go into details, but I was just wondering, like, if that was one of the issues. Okay. And y'all were able to, and y'all on the other side of this thing now, so the marriage is, y'all good?
Yeah. Okay. It was but it was rough. That little period, it was pretty rough.
And, was it infidelity on both sides or just one side?
Both.
Okay. All right. How did that impact your kids? Did they know?
They don't really know.
They don't really know? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we pretty much worked to shield them from.
Okay. And how old are y'all children again?
22 and almost 28.
22 and 28. Okay. They're both in school, away. What's going on?
No.
Okay.
Doesn't live here anymore.
Okay.
Moved out. Thank God.
Knock on wood. The little boy, he is at work at the moment.
Okay. All right.
I'll tell you that thing about the two grown women now not being able to be in the house together. That's true. I tell you, I will put on a square and a stack. I've seen it for myself. It was not cute at all.
Oh wow.
And I love my baby, but it was like,
yeah. Okay, Derek, here's a question for you. And I want to see if your wife remembers it different. Do you remember when you proposed to your wife?
Oh boy.
Can you tell me how it happened?
Yeah, just raspy. Oh, bring the crap.
Okay, I'll try. I guess I'll try and be as brief as possible.
Okay.
So I had a plan.
Yeah.
And it was Christmas Eve.
Okay.
So this was at a time before we started working at the county.
Okay.
We were working at the other shoe store, but we were working at separate stores.
All right.
So I had I think it was Fridays, and I had called them and set something up. We were going to go there, and they were going to bring out little appetizers.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to bring out bring in the champagne glass. And I was, they had little ticker tape thing across, run across.
Oh yeah, going around. Yeah. Which Fridays? The one in Southfield?
Was it the one? No, I think it was Dearborn.
Oh, the one in Dearborn. Okay, that's Club Fridays. The way it used to be Club Fridays.
Because she was in Redford and I was in Livonia, so that was the closest one. So it was going to ask her, "Will you marry me across the blah blah?" So I got it all set up. So I said, "Okay, after we get off, we got to go. We're going to dinner because they closed early because it was New Year's. I mean, it was Christmas." So it was about 4:00, 4:30, and I let her drive the car to her store. So she could come and pick me up. I said, "Okay, come on, let's get ready to go. 5:00, let's go." So she was like, "Okay." Then she called me back at like 4:45, and she was like, "Oh, they're trying to do a little party, so we're gonna go get some party favors and stuff." I said, "Well, okay, 15, 20 minutes, we gotta go." So I called her back. It was like 5:30. I said, "Terry, what's going on?" "Well, they got a cake and everything, and now they're trying to say, Terry, we gotta go." "Hurry up, come on, get me." Okay. So the place, I think they closed at like 7 or 7:30. So I had to call them back and say, "Hey, we're still coming. I think she finally didn't get to my store until about 6:30, 6:45. So by the time we got there, I said, the place closed.
Go ahead.
So now we driving home. I'm on fire.
Oh wow!
Because I'm like, I had this set up, telling her we need to go. She wouldn't do what she wanted to do. So now I'm trying to figure. At this point, I'm like, I don't even know if I want to ask her. So we got back to the house, and so I guess her family was having something for Christmas Eve, and she was like,
"No, Tanisha."
Who's Tanisha?
Called us out to know.
No, because what's her name?
She called us out to know.
Okay. So we were going to go there. So now I'm sitting there thinking, what should I do? So what I really wanted was take the ring out and throw it at her and tell her, because of course she wouldn't know yet what I had planned or whatever. I sat there and just chilled and cooled out and just got on my knee and asked her. So,
okay.
Of course, she was like, "Oh, man,
She was trying to do something else, and I'm like, "We got ready to go. I got my coat on. You talking about you want to do something first? What you trying to do?"
Right. When I told her Fridays, why we gotta go to Fridays? We always go there, man. We go.
So Terry, do you remember any of this differently?
Yeah.
Or did it happen just the way he said?
Most of it happened like that, but the way he was saying it was at his store, and I picked up it was a little different from that, but
okay,
it was that kind of my job and us having a little party thing. But I had to go pick up the pizza for the party in the midst of picking him up. And we got back to my store. And he went behind the curtain or whatever behind the back and called. Got on the phone and made a phone call. And then by that time he came back out.
Oh, and even her boss just said to her, "What did your boss say to you?"
He's just trying to propose to you or something. I said, "Yeah, right."
Oh wow. So he didn't snitched you out, Derek.
No, I didn't tell him. I didn't tell him anything. But
we had been together for what?
I don't know.
4 years.
But see, already in the back of her mind, there was negativity back there already. So she was fighting against that and me trying to tell her what to do. You know, she don't.
Okay. She don't respond well to authority.
And I just like, listen, at least just this time, can you just do what I ask you to do? Why? But it ended up, of course, in the end, it ended up working out.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. So you know what? Let's play a couple games. From the and you did choose TV and film, right?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. I don't know because Terry might be she been on my other little shows. This might be a gimme for her.
Yeah, I know. I was sitting there with her when you were.
When she was doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look.
And Sean talking about freckles is freaky, huh?
All right. Okay, here. This is from a movie. Just so you know, I want to say it's with Sanaa Lathan in it. I want to say it had Mos Def in it.
Pull it back a little bit. It's blurry. Okay, there you go.
That's your movie.
Sanaa Lathan and Mos Def. Oh. With
Queen Latifah.
Yep. Brown Sugar.
Yep.
Why don't you? Oh, what do you feel?
It has something to do with emotion, and it has something to do with our culture, rap.
What do you feel
It's a question.
Yeah.
I know it's something about hip hop.
Yep, that's the last word.
Did you
first fall in love with hip hop?
There you go. All right, folks. Okay. All right. Here's the next one.
DDAMBW.
This is a Tyler Perry movie.
Oh boy, she should have got that.
Like Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
Yes, ma'am. All right. All right, here's the next one.
PPP.
Yep. Snoop loved to do this.
Puff puff pass.
There you go. All right, so you should know this one, Terry. I think we did this one the other day. Okay, this is from Players Club.
I haven't seen Players Club in years.
Me neither.
Got something to do with cash. Another word for cash.
Money.
What's dude's name? Money.
Money talks. Money.
Dancers might use this term. Strippers may use this term or this phrase. Come on, y'all.
Players Club. Sheesh.
Maybe the money.
All right, make the money. Don't let the money make you.
Hey.
All right. Let's see. if you could describe your marriage in 5 words or less, if you need to use more, what would it be? How would you describe your marriage currently? What state would you say your marriage is in?
Have the most fun we can.
He said describing your marriage.
Huh?
He said describe your marriage.
Describe my marriage.
Like, is it in the season of rejuvenation, rebuilding?
We're in a good place.
Okay. What
you say?
All right.
We still have some working to do, but we're in a good place right now.
Okay.
More than words, though. We did the sentence, but yeah. So
okay, when you say y'all still have some work to do, or is it that you guys you feel like you need to seek some additional counseling, or it's just, I mean, y'all got 25 years in, so, and not to say that because you got 25 years in, everything is hunky dory, because I think marriage is a constantly evolving thing. It's constantly evolving. You're changing, he's changing, and so you have to adapt to that. Speaking of which, how do you adapt to the change you see in your spouse? Like, how do you make that work?
Like I said, nowadays I know when he got an attitude, I just know how to walk away, because we both sometimes have them at the same time. So either I'm gonna walk away, and we just don't talk about it. So whenever he decides he over it,
okay,
I'm over it. I feel like life is too short nowadays just to just little stuff bother you. But then sometimes I'm good. I'm always good with writing or a text, and I'll be like, I have something like, why you do this, or why you like you can do that. So that's right now we have with more so him recognizing my feelings to certain things, and so we still got a little communication issue going on.
Okay. Do you either of you know what the other's love language is? Have you heard of the 5 love languages?
I heard of them, but I can't tell you if I know what it is or not.
Okay.
Maybe.
I'm gonna send y'all this quiz on that as well, the way you can tell. The reason I say this, I definitely try to suggest it to couples who not aware of it. Let me see. I got this book right here. So let me see. And I think it's important to know what your partner's love language is, because it kind of gives you an idea of where they are. Now you have a primary love language, then you have a secondary. And if you know what your partner's love language is, it's good to be able to speak to them in their love language. So like generally whatever we put out is what we want back. And let me just preface this before I even go any further. I am not a relationship expert by no means, because my past is very sordid. So with that being said, I'm just offering just suggestions up. And normally we have a relationship therapist on here, just not to counsel anybody, but sometimes they're here to kind of break down things that you guys share with us for our wider audience that may be listening to it. But unfortunately, the 2 therapists I had, they were not available today. But you have words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. So those are the 5 love languages. And maybe at some point during our conversation, I'll kind of go over what those are. But when you can understand what your partner's love, and I definitely would highly suggest, y'all, find out what the other person's love language is, because it helps to know not only what your love language is, so that your partner can speak to you in that, but then you can also speak to them in their love language. And I think it kind of helps sometimes break down or reduces the communication barriers that happen sometimes. Because if Derek, if you say something to Terry, you may have said it in your language, but she hears it in hers.
Right.
And then she, you know what I'm saying? And you like, well, why you didn't understand what I said? So she may not necessarily hear what you're trying to say because she doesn't hear it in her language. So you have to speak to her in her language, and vice versa. She needs to speak to you in your love language. So just as a suggestion from one married couple to another, if y'all don't know what it is, I would highly suggest get it and read it. It's a real quick read, real easy.
Okay.
So get that. But
In a marriage, any help you can get is fact. In a marriage, any help that you can find.
Listen, and you know what, Derek? That's why I'm doing this, because listen, every time I do this, I learn something myself, or hopefully I get some tools for if me and my wife get into that situation, we hopefully know how to work through it or use these examples. And again, I'm getting positive examples from people that I know, because there are some couples that I know, but then after we talk, they reveal some things. I was like, wow, I had no idea, but they worked through it. You know what I'm saying? They managed to get through it. Y'all, case in point, 25 years in, stuff that happened in y'all marriage, but y'all worked through it. Y'all still here and on the other side of it and can talk about it. So that's the reason I'm doing this, and to let other people know, like, it takes work. Things happen, and people always will say, well, I would never do this. You don't know what the hell you would do until you walk a mile in them Mary shoes. You just don't know. You say that until you walk in them shoes.
I tell people at work, even though they see us and they ask us all the time how we manage to work together and all that, I said, well, one thing about it, you'll never hear me say we 100. You'll never hear me say we had no faults or anything in our marriage. I said, I try to keep it straight 100. We, we go through our issues. We have them. We work them out. We don't work them out. We get there.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. You work it out. You get through it. We kind of went through that. What advice? So I got this question is twofold, but I'm going to ask the first one. What advice would you give your younger self before you got married to your spouse? What advice would you give yourself?
That's a good question. Man, that's a good question. Wow.
Mine would be more mindful of how I handled certain situations when it came to friends, ex-friends, boyfriends, and stuff like that. Probably be more mindful of how I handle the situation, so it wouldn't lead to suspicion, or accusations or stuff like that.
Okay. So keeping previous relationships that may have been more than just platonic relationships, keeping those at bay, keeping them in their own department. Speaking of which, I do want to ask this. Is it okay to have friends of the opposite sex? Do you think it's okay in a marriage to have friends of the opposite sex?
I think so.
I think it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's boundaries to it too.
Okay. So when you say Terry, when you say there's boundaries, you mean boundaries in the sense that the person that you're friends with, you need to understand and respect the boundaries, or you need to respect the boundaries?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely both.
And it helps when it's like couples, but even if it's not, I know he has female friends he had before me. I had male friends that had before him. I don't necessarily talk to him as much as we may have, but still, I like this at this point. It doesn't matter anyway because too far in it. Like I told you got over half my life. Hell, so it really don't matter. But yeah, but it usually helps when it's either couples and something like that. But other than that, as long as I don't get disrespected and you're not disrespecting me from either one.
Okay. It is okay. What about you, Derek? What do you what advice would you give yourself?
I guess I don't know. I've always been like a hopeless romantic, and I think I've always had these lofty expectations of what my marriage would be as far as in that respect.
Okay.
Just that what I would probably tell myself is kind of temper, the expectations.
Okay.
Aspect of it, and I don't mean to say I'm not saying that in a negative way at all, but I guess I don't know.
Stop living a fairy tale life.
Yeah, I guess I've when I was younger, I've always had that fairy tale marriage type of romanticism and everything was fantastic and great. And it's funny because I've actually at a young age, I've always thought about marriage.
I was just going to add, that was going to be my follow-up question to you. Have you always been the type of man that wanted to be married and thought about marriage?
Probably late probably mid to late teens. Was
really?
I just had the mindset of marriage. You know, any of the relationships I've had when I was younger. It's like if I was with that person, I was with that person.
Okay.
That person, and
then my life wasn't set up like that, brother. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was not. But you know what? I want to say this. You are the second brother I've talked to who've said that. And I was just, and each time it has taken me aback because I'm like, really? I never entertained that. Like, and it took me a long time to get there.
And she'll tell you all the time. She'll be like, she'll always tell me, she's like, you're a different type of guy, you know what I mean? Than she's dealt with just in my mindset and certain ways that I think about things.
Right. Yeah, brother. Hats off to you because I'll be honest with you. You are a rare breed because I don't know too many brothers. Seriously, that's all they, that they come out of the gate. And you said in your teens, like, man, I wasn't nowhere near that thinking about that in teens in high school. What?
I know
married. Married. If you don't get away from me with that mess.
Right.
So, is it okay? And I think the question I asked about what advice would you give yourself? So, having single, Terry, you mentioned having friends that are married, it helps. Is it okay to have friends that are singles? Like you got girlfriends that are single?
Yeah, I got some single girlfriends.
Okay. How does that, if at all, does it impact your marriage at all? You hanging out with those single girlfriends?
No.
Especially given the fact that, there was some infidelity in relationship. Does that impact your relationship at all?
No, because believe it or not, we're together so much that it's like, it feels weird when I'm not with them.
Okay.
Stuff. But then my single girlfriends, they are to the point where if I'm not here, a lot of times they won't even come in. They'll wait till I'm coming home, and and even my best one, sometimes she'll come in like if my son is here, but other than that, you won't come in. They won't come in.
That's weird. This is my second marriage. I've been married before. Have either of you been married before? Is your first? No. Okay. My first wife was like that. Like she did not play. And this was like, mind you, I knew her family before I knew her. She did not play. She didn't want them coming in the house if she wasn't there. And I'm like, girl, please, these your cousins. I know them. Like, don't get me wrong. I done did some foul shit back in my day. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I wouldn't have never play. You know what I'm saying? But that was just her attitude. She didn't play that. Her friends, her cousins, don't come in her house if she's not here.
That was my idea. This was their idea. This is what they do. This is what they supposed to do. So I was like, I can't, not follow them with that. So that's just their respect.
And it's like two of her current, her girlfriends, but one of her girlfriends is somebody she met through me, and the other one is I met through her.
Okay.
There's some of but they're the two currently that are single. They're like some of our best friends.
Okay.
I mean, it's like the one of them. I don't know. She recently moved out of state, and that was rough for us. Okay. She was. I mean, she was always there.
Okay.
Whatever we needed, if she could help, she would. And we
do y'all have currently have or had a support system? Like when y'all was going through that difficult time with the infidelity, like did y'all have a support system, like somebody that y'all can lean on, or like, hey, kind of help will y'all pull y'all back in together, or that was just the strength of what y'all the love y'all have for one another that pulled y'all in? Like how did y'all like how did that work? Because I've talked to couples where they've had, on the husband side, his parents were been married, so they knew about that stick and stay. And then on the wife side, the wife said, well, no, she didn't really have that example. So for y'all, what did that look like? Parents married, long time. Did y'all have an example of what marriage is supposed to look like?
My mother's been married twice. She's on her second marriage. The first one was to my dad, and they was married for 14 years. But I don't think I based it off either one of her marriages. The one she's in now, she's been married to for 25, hers 28.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it was a support system, but I think we both had somebody that we just talked to, whether it's I'm talking to his friend from a male perspective, or my friend from a female perspective, and vice versa. I think we both the same two people, and in their ear about something.
Okay.
Knew wasn't judgmental.
Okay.
And I even went to my mom on too, though.
Mm-hmm.
And I know my mom's not judgmental, and it was always, girl, you better go somewhere and sit down, whatever like that. Stuff like that. But it was always like, I made sure it wasn't like I'm gonna stay in this because of the sake of kids or stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
I never made that my decision.
Yeah, that's never
okay.
Good.
Yeah, so
that I think that's never healthy to stay in a marriage because of kids' sake.
No.
Yeah, I had a couple that I talked to, and she's like a sister to me, and then some of the stuff that her and her husband were sharing with me, my mouth was open because I'm like, I had no idea. And I mind you, this like a sister to me. She shared some things with me, but there were a lot of details when we were talking in this platform that I just didn't know. So I was like, wow, I had no idea. I see y'all in a totally different light now, not in a bad way, but I see y'all differently now. But she was saying how, same thing in their situation. There was a little infidelity on both parts, and they had separated. And she said that her daughters told her they wish they had separated. She said because for the sake of their marriage, they would still, they would still do family things together and things like that. So for appearance's sakes, the kids almost really didn't know they were separated.
Right.
But she said her daughter came to her and told her, she said, I appreciate you and dad working it out, after all this time, but I'm gonna tell you, there were occasions where I wish y'all had just got a divorce and left each other because it really impacted them. Yeah, and I was like, wow. She said, and it really hurt her. She said because she thought she was shielding them from all that, but really they wasn't. And kids, my mom used to always say, all sleeping eyes ain't sleep.
Right.
That's right. Oh, they can catch on early on. You think you got it all.
Like my son, he said if it wasn't for us, he wouldn't even consider thinking about marriage. But he said he's looking at us. He's actually would consider getting married. I said, but every marriage is not and it's based on the two. He said, I know, but mine, just looking at you guys, just give me some kind of something to look forward to. And I was like, okay.
Absolutely. And listen, Terry, that is what it's about. I mean, despite the ups and downs and the valleys and the hills, he got something to look forward to. He got a template from which to work from, and y'all got some major advice and jewels which y'all are lending to my audience, and also be able to lend to y'all kids. Like, hey, tough times are going to happen, but tough people stick it out.
Yeah, I tell people, people come to us all the time, and they're like, I love y'all. You all y'all give me hope.
Mm-hmm.
And that I can do this and have a marriage and long lasting marriage. But the first thing I tell her, I said, that's great, but just understand, marriage is hills and valleys. It's hills and valleys. It's never going to be fantastic the whole time.
It's not. It's really not. And the thing is that you have to figure out a way. Like I said earlier, and I got this advice from a wife. They've been together. I just interviewed them. How long Lydia and her husband been together? I want to say close to 10 years. But she said, loving your spouse is a choice. It's a choice. You choose to love that person. Oh, yeah. And somebody told me this. This is a good one. They said, marriage is the only license you don't renew. You renew every other license. You go and get a renewal. But and then the thing, and the question is, if you could renew it, would you renew
it? Right.
I have my times. I be wanting to sing the hell out of them sometimes.
But
and I know I do. He do the same for me.
And I thinking about doing this podcast, and I said to myself, I don't know, it may turn to a point where it kind of seems negative. As far as
I hope you're not getting that. Because that is not my intent.
I mean, just in the general conversation of how just kind of how it turns. But I just want to let everybody know, marriage, you find the right person, or the person that you think is the right person, it can be fantastic. There's work, but like if I wasn't married and I hear somebody say, "Man, it's a lot of work," that would sound like, "Oh man, I'm not down for that." But there's work. It's just knowing what your other partner feels, what your other partner likes, and the same token, that they know what you like. It's not impossible.
Yeah.
To have.
Well, y'all just showed that it's 25 years in. No, it's not impossible. No, it's not.
I just want to let everybody know that. Everybody that's watching, it's not impossible.
Well, thank you for that, Derek.
A great marriage, so I just want to put that in there.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
You can even be together every day, all day too, and it's still.
Hey, there you go. Y'all heard it from 25 years in, Mr. and Mrs. Fields, that you can be together and work together every day and still love on one another. There you go. All right. Has your definition of marriage changed since being married? And Derek, it's really, I want you to answer this question because you said you was a hopeless romantic. So has your definition of marriage changed since being married?
Like I said, it's not 100% what I've always pictured a marriage to be. But if I had to give a percentage, I mean, if it went from 100% to where it was like, this is what I wanted, I would probably, I'm thinking like 85, 90% is what it is. Because like I said, your marriage is what you make it.
Yeah. You put in the work.
If you work enough at it, if you pay attention to signs, and this is me now. This is 25-year me. This is not 10 or 15-year me talking, but
right.
The longer you're in something, the more you understand, and the more you understand how to deal with it, how to manage it.
Right.
But I think it's close. It is close because I've tried to make it, what I've wanted it to be.
Got you.
Yeah.
In this book, the 5 love languages, he talks about you shouldn't be committing the mistakes you made in year 1, in year 5, in year 7, in year 10. Like as you move, and to what you were saying, Derek, as you move along in the marriage and the relationship, you should be constantly evolving, getting better.
Yes.
And you shouldn't be making those same mistakes. You know what I'm saying? It's like
learning from your mistakes is important.
Yeah. You should be learning from your mistakes. Yes. Like you said, learning your partner, her likes, she need to be learning your likes, your dislikes, and they know when you mad, and she know, like your wife said, I know when he got an attitude about something, and my wife knows the same thing with me. We'll say, oh, I ask, are you okay? No, yeah, I'm okay. We know we not okay. You know what I'm saying? We ain't just kind of dry talking or not talking at all.
You texting, you know that the key word is you texting, you good? You okay? Yup. You get that yup.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, you shoot that text. Yeah, I'm good. Whatever. So yeah, but you absolutely. Do you consider yourself to be that's your fur baby?
Yeah, this is our fur baby.
Okay. That's a Yorkie. Is that a Yorkie?
Yorkie poo.
Yeah.
Yorkie poo. Okay, yeah. I got my granddaughter one of them.
This is my man's.
His savior.
Yeah, I recently lost my mom and my dad in 5 months.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
In 5 months.
Wow.
5 months apart.
Yes. So it's just like,
jeez.
But and it was
condolences, my dear. Condolences.
Thank you. So I lost my mom in March, and last Sweetest Day, because we had talked about pets before, but I was like, no, I'm not doing a dog because eventually I'm going to be the one doing everything and blah blah blah. But so it was coming up on Sweetest Day, and she was like, you know what? I'm going to get a dog, and she was like, the Sweetest Day, myself one. I was like, huh? And so she was like, no. I said, are you serious? She was like, yeah. And then all of a sudden, I was in the dog mode. I'm like, okay, we got the house. And it was like, cool. And after my mom passed, I actually told her recently, actually before my dad passed, I said, beside my kids, I said, getting this dog family was the best thing she's ever done because he's been my support. He makes me laugh every day.
Okay.
And all this time. And I told her I really appreciate her for doing that.
Okay.
Ahead of time what was happening, but it's been great. And
Speaking of appreciation, what is the one thing that you could say about your spouse that you greatly appreciate about him or her?
What was the question?
What is the one thing you could say that you greatly appreciate about your wife? And then Terry, what do you appreciate about your husband?
You want to go first?
You go first.
Terry is she's very understanding, and she's like I told her through this time, I don't know what I would have been able to do without her. You know, I mean, she is the support that she's given me is just I can't even put it into words.
Mm-hmm.
I tell her all the time how much I appreciate her, that she's here for me, because emotionally I'm just, I'm up and down, and sometimes, I'm usually jovial, pretty, laughing, but sometimes I do snap at the smallest thing. And she told me recently, she was like, all right, listen, I understand, that what you're going through, and I do apologize to her. I said, like, I'm sorry, but I appreciate her. She's just been fantastic.
Okay. What about you, Terry? Is there something that you?
Throughout our marriage, he has always been like the greatest father that I could have for my kids. He's been even through the faults, he's been a great husband. Look, now that he cooks, he's even fantastic. No more cooking yet. So,
okay.
So I can't complain as far as like that.
Okay.
We hang out. We have a lot of fun when we hang out together. Like I said, we always look for a happy hour bar or just going somewhere.
That's good to hear, because I definitely know, like, I enjoy hanging out with my wife. I really do. I like hanging out with her. We have a good time. Because I often wonder, like, how I'm gonna feel when I do hang out with the fellas. Like, man, it'd be kind of weird when I do, or I don't know how she feels when she hang out with her girlfriends.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I do. I feel a little weird sometimes when I'm not with her, because I'm so used to being where, and we have such a good time together.
Right.
So it is a little weird when I do go someplace and she's not with me,
Exactly.
And of course, when people see me, if I go to a family function, she's not with me. Where's Stacy at? Where's Stacy at?
Yep, it's just like this is the way it is with us. If they don't see one of us, they're like, well, "Where's the other one at? What is he doing?"
Right.
It's usually people together.
When y'all kids were younger, did y'all have to plan for intimate times?
No.
Or did it just kind of Okay.
No.
Okay.
We didn't have to plan, but it kind of slid downhill. I'm like, listen, I know. And she was like, well, the room is so fun. We got to find a way to make this work, okay?
Right.
Now we just be too damn tired to do some intimacy. If we don't, we don't. It's like job be having our time then.
Right. Okay, let's play a couple more games from a couple more slides from the game. All right, let's see here. Hopefully I'll mix these up. Like I said, your wife been on a couple of my shows on Thursday night, so she might got some of these down packed already. Okay. Can you see them?
Nope.
It's kind of
blurry.
It's
blurry. I don't know why my
bring it back a little more. Or not.
It's still blurred. Is that double? Yeah, it's blurred.
It's blurred.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, that made it worse.
That made it worse. I don't know why my
eye chart right now.
You're already blind as a bat.
Right. Okay, I don't know why this is like, why it's happening like that. I don't know why it's not. Okay, so the letters are W, D, F, F, I, L.
W, D, F, F, I, L. W, D, F, F, I, L. Okay.
All right, and this was from a movie. This was actually the title of a movie.
The title of a movie.
Well, look, those two F's. I guess that can't be what those two F's are. What I was.
WDFF.
Why did
you're on the right track? That why is the first word?
Why did fools fall in love?
There you go. All right.
Boy, all those chicks.
This is a TV show Will Smith played in. It was the title of a song, the theme song.
What's the letters?
I W P B A R.
IWPBAR.
I can't. No.
Will Smith.
Will Smith.
Yep. It was his TV show Fresh Prince. It was the theme song. What was the words to one of the theme songs?
Oh my God. Prince of
I'm mad about this.
Bel Air.
Prince of Bel Air. I know that.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised.
Born and raised. God dang it. Not that one.
All right, so here's the next one.
All right.
I'm so mad about this. This was working early. I don't know why. I made sure the thing was on.
Yeah, give us the initials. We'll write it.
Y I K period Y I S period Y I period.
Okay.
And what is this?
This was from a movie, and it had Viola Davis in it, and she said this to the little white girl.
Oh, he got it.
And I want to say, what was the name of the movie was the name of the movie was Jesus. Why can't I think of the name of this movie? Where the lady The Help. The name of the movie was The Help.
Oh, and I just saw that too. I saw it again not too long ago. I was going to watch it. Man, I think
you is kind, you is smart, you is important.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have got that one.
Nope. All right, here's the last one. All right, this is from a TV show I know we all watch. Martin. The letters are Y A G N J T. Something Martin used to always say to his best friend.
You ain't got no job, Tommy.
You ain't got no job, Tommy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. When you need to communicate something very important to your partner, like how do you let him or her know that, listen, I need to have a serious talk with you about something? Like, and do you feel like do you have a safe space in your marriage and relationship to express yourself emotionally without judgment and stuff like that?
Well, with us, I have to give him a minute before we even discuss or try to discuss. If I think it's going to take the conversation to another level, I have to make sure. I just got to make sure we on the same page. I have to say, look, I'm not trying to argue.
Okay.
Conversation. If it's gonna go left and we gotta argue, we ain't gotta talk about it. Forget it. I can win.
But is that healthy to avoid conversations?
It's not, because that makes me mad.
Okay.
So, no. So sometimes like I say, I'm good for writing letters or texting nowadays.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's where the words off your chest in a way where you won't say something you regret.
Right.
Time to think about what you're gonna say and how you're gonna say it without it being you might regret. But you can't, once you say something, you can't take it back.
You can't take it back. This is true. You can't take it back. What about you, Derek?
You probably gotta repeat the question for him.
Okay. When you need to communicate with your wife, how does that look? How do you let her know that you need to talk with her about something serious? And do you feel like your marriage is a safe space for you to express yourself emotionally without judgment?
Yeah, it's kind of piggybacking on what she was saying. It's like it's weird, even as long as we've been together.
The boy has walked in.
Oh, okay. The boy.
What up, guys?
What up, though? Hey, listen, this is a real show. We don't edit out nothing. And y'all a couple, y'all married, y'all got kids at home, so don't worry about it. Just long as I got y'all attention, we good.
It's real.
We're about to wrap it up in a minute. Anyway.
It's real.
Yeah, it's real. 100% real.
Right. Yeah, even after all this time, and it should be easier, but sometimes trying to talk about certain things, it's like it's still.
Is it certain topics or just period? You know your spouse well enough that this might go left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would probably say like that, but like I said, I mean, I'm probably the more actually emotional person in a relationship.
Okay.
But that's not to say I'm not always the one that will blow up first.
Okay.
I mean, it's not 100% me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah, and I think we talked before about trying to be more honest with each other and have something that we want to talk about, we want to say, just say it.
Right.
But even with that, it's still kind of difficult, just like I said, because we don't necessarily want it to lead to an argument.
Okay.
Of course, when argument starts, nothing gets resolved.
Yeah, nothing gets resolved. Yeah, you gotta, always try to take the approach, listen to understand and not to respond.
But I'm gonna tell you something. Just getting back to the counselor thing. Anybody that's watching that thinks counseling is bad or counseling won't help, it does. Because there's a big difference between you and your spouse hollering at each other and not listening to what the other person's trying to say. And when you sit in front of somebody and you tell that person your feeling, and that counselor will tell the other person what you're trying to say. And it's easier to listen to someone else's account of what your spouse is actually trying to say to somebody else. It does help.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. I believe that your spouse is almost like a mirror of you. And sometimes when you say certain things to your spouse, and I do want to touch on that the 5 love languages again, but when you say certain things to your spouse, sometimes they're a mirror of you, and sometimes that reflection looking back is not always pretty. And how do we process that? That's like somebody saying something to you, and it may be true, but you may not want it to hear that or hear it the way you heard it. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of gotta take the emotion out of it if you can and deal with it. So that's why I totally agree with you, Derek, that it is good to get a counselor, because then they can communicate what you're trying to say to your spouse in a different way. But it goes back to some of what I was saying, speaking to your partner in their love language so they can hear you the way they need to hear you. Yeah. And you can say it in a way that they can hopefully get it and digest it. Exactly. It doesn't always work. And I'm not saying this is 100% be all, because trust and believe me, I done read this book. Me and my wife have read this book. We don't always get it right. I mean, she knows what my love language is. I know what hers is. And I try to do a good job of, when I talk to her, check in with her, like, hey, how are you doing today? Where you at emotionally? Stuff like that. But again, knowing all this, like you said earlier, Derek, as much as I feel like I know about women are from Mars, men are from Venus, and you just not going to always get it right. But as long as you take the active approach, I think, to trying to get it right, I think that helps. And then, like you said, seeking out counsel, a third party, just to listen, to kind of break down those things that you feel like you're trying to say to your partner, but they're just not hearing, I mean, oh yes, it works.
But in that too, the two people have to be open-minded. You can't feel that a counselor is on one person's side than the other person's side either. So that makes a difference.
It makes a difference.
Also, with the speaking to your partner, you got to realize too how you're saying something. That could be portrayed a different way. The way you
absolutely.
It makes a difference.
Absolutely. What you sometimes it ain't what you say, it's just how you say it.
Exactly.
Yeah, how you say it. Yeah, and it's the attitude, and that just comes with the attitude behind a situation. Because I mean, yeah, I totally get it. Like, shoot, we done been to situations where I want to say this morning, my wife was share something with me. She grabbed my hands and held it. You know, it was like because she wanted to make sure, I guess, that I didn't go left or a leftover argument that we never really resolved. But I was when she said what she said, I was totally in agreement with it. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. Whatever tools you need to do in order to get to the end result, then you got to do it. In a marriage. Yep.
Definitely.
So we are about to wrap up, but I do want to ask you this. Was there anything that we've said today that you didn't know about your partner that you just discovered that you didn't know before?
No.
No? Okay. So, all right.
Yeah, we'd like I said, we know each other pretty well. I always felt like, we kind of had a unique relationship.
Okay.
We do have a unique.
Yeah, but a lot of it is mostly from what other people perceive of our relationship,
Okay.
But like I said, I think the biggest thing is the fact that we're together all the time. People are like, man, I can't do that, and this and that thing. But it's like it's what works for you.
Okay, exactly. Yeah. You got to do what works in your marriage. Absolutely.
Don't try and keep up with the Joneses and say we need to be like them. Look, be like yourself. Okay, what works for you guys, that's what should work.
Absolutely, 100%. I totally agree with you, Derek. Well, if you can leave my audience for those who are either married in an existing marriage or for those who are thinking about marriage, what piece of advice would you like to leave them with? This is coming from 25 years in. What would you like to leave them with?
What I just said.
Okay.
Just good communication, having fun and enjoying each other, and making sure you both want the same things out of the relationship to make it work.
Okay.
I was actually going to say, I believe that's her love language, communication. She always talks about communication, and we need to have better communication, blah, blah, blah.
And here's the thing.
Always make sure I compliment her when we're going out, we're doing something that always looks good, and I always compliment her on that.
Okay. Quality time.
And that used to be one of my biggest things, but now that we got plenty of that.
Right. I was about to say, y'all ain't missing that. Anyway, I'll send y'all the I'm gonna go through this book and highlight the stuff. So next time I do this, I can go right to it. But I'm gonna send y'all I'll send it to you, Terry. I think I don't know if you text me or not, but I'll put my number in the chat and you can text me, and then I'll send you the actual test and y'all can take it when y'all free time.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, before we end everything, I definitely like to pray things out. I want to also just thank you for coming on, and for my audience, for everybody listening. If you like what you're seeing, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. If you guys haven't already subscribed to my channel, Black Marriage Chronicles, please do so for me. I appreciate it. Share the information. It helps the channel grow. But I like to pray things out. Did you guys like to pray us out?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead. I'm gonna let y'all lead it.
Really? So, dear Lord, thank you for this wonderful podcast we just experienced, the opportunity of giving advice to others out there who's looking to be married or already married. And thank you for our host and continue success.
And Father God, I would just like to add an additional prayer. I just ask for your protective hedge around the fields, Derek and Terri Field, that you continue to bless their union, Father God, that you continue to give them what they need in their marriage, and that they may continue to give it to one another, that they always look to you first, Father God, for you are the head of their life, that you continue to bring this union together, Father God, not only them bless their marriage, but their kids, Father God. May they can continue to see an example of what marriage looks like, what a healthy marriage looks like, that you continue to be watch over them from the top of their heads to the soles of their feet, that they do not take their vows lightly, Father God, that when those vows are put to the test, Father God, they look to you, who is the author and finisher of their faith, and just continue to just, again, Lord, just watch over them, Lord. We just ask that your protective hedge be over them and their entire family, and that they continue to prosper and grow, Father God. And they did not look for others, affirmation from others, but they look to you to confirm and affirm their marriage. In the mighty name of Christ, we thank you.
Amen.
Amen. All right. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to end it right there. Y'all enjoy your rest of enjoy the rest of your day. And thanks again.
All right.
Look for me. I'll have y'all on.
Enjoy your holiday.
Oh yeah, you enjoy. I gotta work, unfortunately. Yeah, I gotta go to work on holiday. But I'll have y'all. I'm planning on having a reunion, so I'll let y'all know and keep y'all posted. Okay. And we definitely gonna do that double date night, Terry.
Oh yeah. All right.
We gotta hang out for that. I'm looking forward.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Thank you.
All right. Thank you too.
Bye.
Okay. Bye. All right. So that was Derek and Terri Fields, married 25 years. They definitely had a lot to unpack. I appreciate their candidness on the show. If you like what you see, if you like what you heard, please drop a comment below. If you'd like to have the Fields come back on, let me know that as well. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And also, please share this with everyone you know. I don't care if you're married, not married, single, or your relationship is complicated. Share the information. I appreciate it. It helps the channel grow. With that, I'm going to leave you in peace.